Hi, it's Caitlin Kogan-Domner with virtualcoachingsales.com. Today I want to talk about the difference between empathy and validation. So there are a lot of times when people will tell you a story about their life and they will tell you all these different reasons why they can't move forward. So we call these objections. But really, if we think about them, they're stories. They're reasons for not taking action, for not moving forward. And so for you as a salesperson, there's this very fine line that you want to walk where you want to empathize with them, which means to feel with them and feel the same feelings that they're feeling. Like, I can understand it must be really hard feeling like you don't have enough money to invest right now, without validating. So the second layer of distinction that I want to do, so empathy versus validation. How can you feel with them without validating their story and telling them, oh yeah, you're right, you don't have enough money to invest, right? So there's a fine line that you want to walk there in terms of helping them to feel heard and understood, and that you get where they're at without validating their story and giving them permission to not take action. And that really comes down to story and our understanding of facts versus interpretation. So you can know this happened, then this happened, then this happened, but the interpretation that we gain from that is what makes our beliefs. It helps us take action. It's our entire ideological construct is that interpretation of facts. So two people can be looking at the same bank account. Let's say it has $100 left in it. One person says, I only have $100, I'm a poor man. And the other person says, I have $100, I'm a rich man, right? I can turn that $100 into $1 million, right? It all has to do with mindset and how you interpret what you're looking at. And that perception is one thing. So when you're talking to somebody and they're telling you, well, I need to do X and I need to do Y and I need to do Z before I can make a decision, you have to recognize, okay, this is their story. This is what they believe has to happen before they make a decision. But there's always an opportunity for you as their sales coach to question X and Y and Z. Do you really need X? Is Y really true? Well, what if we could do Z? And really, that's, I think, my favorite way to break them out of patterns. So frequently our closers will talk to people and they'll have essentially the same conversation every 6 months. I want this, I know I need it, I don't have the money for it. 6 months later, I want it, I know I need it, I don't have the money for it. A year later, I want it, I know I need it, I don't have money for it. And it's almost your moral responsibility to interject and say, okay, this is what I'm hearing, right? You have this story of scarcity that you cannot break out of. You have this pattern of saying, I want this, I need this, I can't do it, and not allowing yourself to invest in yourself. So we need to call that out in our prospects and we need to stop it in its tracks. I want you to be the tipping point for these people. I don't want them to get off this phone until their lives have been changed. And so for you, that's a matter of calling them out, calling bullshit and saying, no, that's not going to happen any longer. I'm not going to let you get away with that anymore. And here's why. And always do it in love, always do it in service. You know me. But that's going to be the most powerful way that you can serve the people that you're working with, is by helping them to see that they always have a choice, that resourcefulness is the only resource that they ever actually need.